Hello, I'm Andy Cleff. Welcome to another episode in the series of Virtues for the Change Journey. Previously, we've covered topics including courage, resilience, building alliances. If you missed any of those, head over to theagileuprising.com for links or queue them up in your podcast app. Today, in this episode, diving into a powerful yet woefully underutilized virtue, gratitude. Numerous studies show gratitude is a solid driver of motivation, engagement, and high performance. Well, actually, gratitude along with its companion, appreciation. For the quants, I'll get to compelling stats in a moment, but first, bear with me as I unpack the overlap and the distinction between appreciation and gratitude. Gratitude, I think, is the core virtue, positive emotional state of being thankful. Appreciation, on the other hand, is how we express that gratitude through behavior, the act of acknowledgement, acknowledging the good qualities, the values of other people's efforts and impacts. I think of gratitude as the inner feeling and appreciation as the outward expression of that. Actively appreciating others and vocalizing that thankfulness helps cultivate an overall spirit of gratitude within yourself and within others. And feeling genuine gratitude naturally leads to wanting to express appreciation, a nice virtuous feedback loop. Appreciation, that outward expression, is likely one of the most universally recognized behaviors across cultures. Is there a language on our planet that doesn't have many ways to say thank you? Now, many of you may be thinking, yeah, of course it feels nice to be appreciated. But does it really matter in the workplace? Does it move the dial on things like productivity, innovation? The emphatic research-backed answer is yes. Authentic appreciation matters. Here's a short list of some compelling info. fMRI studies show getting genuine appreciation lights up the reward centers in our brains. There was a Gallup study in 2020, cohort of over 50,000 employees, and they found that the number one reason people leave their jobs is lack of appreciation. And similarly, there was research by the Harvard Human Resource Program that found tangible links between appreciation and employee retention, as well as links to value creation for the organization. Yet despite all of this powerful evidence, many teams as well as organizations lack regular thoughtful recognition as a core behavior. I'm guessing everyone is so busy trying to hit delivery deadlines, moving from crisis to crisis, launching that new initiative, going from one transactional meeting to another, that we forget the basic magic of pausing to actively and honestly appreciate each other. Perhaps you've experienced firsthand how potent it feels to receive a genuine, contextualized thank you from someone at work. Mark Twain wrote, "I could live 2 months on a good compliment." I'm not sure of the half-life of a compliment for me, but I do know when I'm appreciated for my contributions, as well as my progress on my journey of continuous improvement, I get a hit of happiness, and that makes me smile. And guess what? That feeling is contagious. When you observe someone else receiving authentic appreciation, you too get a boost in your neurochemical soup. It's true. Serotonin and dopamine levels in the observer, as well as the giver and receiver, go up. There's also some evidence that this process boosts our immune systems. The neuroscience of gratitude is fascinating. Creating and sustaining a culture of appreciation requires more than just saying, "Thanks, team, great work," at the end of a meeting. While that helps, and it's better than nothing, it takes more consistent intentionality by all. Let me offer up a handful of practices for catalyzing more appreciation. First, work on yourself. Shift your mindset. View appreciation not as a nice to have, but as essential for unlocking motivation and high performance. Next, journal. If you started noting positivity as part of your resilience practice, expand it to capture gratitude and then use it, ideally daily, by spontaneously and also with some prep, give contextualized appreciation of your teammates' impacts, their strengths, what their work meant to you. The more vivid the detail, the better for resonance. Third, learn different appreciation languages. Combine that with discovering your teammates' preferred languages of appreciation. There's an online tool from Chapman and White, the Love Languages folks. I'll put a link in show notes, and that way you can communicate in a way that's meaningful to the recipient. Fourth, create appreciation rituals. This is especially important for remote relationships, where serendipitous opportunities are fewer. You need to be proactive, intentional. Maybe create space in meetings at the beginning or the end for words of appreciation. Add a kudos section to team retrospectives. Have a dedicated kudos channel or a physical gratitude wall in the team room. There are loads of online tools, all with handy Slack integration. See the show notes for a link to a blog post that lists some of these. You can close the week on Fridays with a recap of those appreciations, amplifying the bright spots of the week. You can also consider sending kudo kits with personalized swag or gift cards to people's favorite lunch or coffee spot or their favorite way to treat themselves. And finally, make it sustainable. Focus on making appreciation easy, real, public, and habitual. Build a culture of seeing and celebrating each other's greatness. As Dave Snowden said recently, we want the energy cost of virtue to be less than that of sin. Take a moment and reflect. When was the last time you gave, received, or witnessed thanks? If it's been a while, make it a priority this week to give at least 3 genuine, detailed appreciations. Take a moment, 5 seconds, to recognize someone's efforts and impacts. Stimulate the formation of those denser connections between people. Like fungal roots in a forest, they build collective support. So many studies show a positive correlation between gratitude and all the other values needed for the change journey. As we cultivate gratitude and appreciation, we naturally enhance things like courage, resilience, alliances, and empathy. Empathy is something we haven't talked about yet. It allows us to understand others' perspectives deeply, making our expressions of gratitude that much more meaningful and impactful. When you can empathize with the challenges your teammates face, you become more appreciative of their hard work, their perseverance, and their accomplishments in face of those difficulties. Appreciation flows more easily from a point of empathy. Additionally, expressing authentic gratitude and appreciation requires being able to empathize with how those words will land with the recipient based on their particular situation, the mindset, and the culture. The more empathetic you can be, the more impactful you can be, and the better your delivery will be aligned to the recipient's preferred language of appreciation. When people feel understood holistically as human beings and not as fungible meat widgets, resources, they are inspired to show up with more of their authentic selves. We all do our best, even strive to do better, if we regularly have the experience that what we do matters, that it's valuable, and that our presence makes a difference to others. I strive to keep these episodes short, so coming up on my 10-minute time box, let me wrap things up in a nice bow. By intentionally cultivating gratitude and appreciation through daily practices, empathetic leadership, and tools for positive recognition, you can be like the mycelium in the forest floor, distributing essential nutrients. And by doing so, you'll significantly boost individual as well as team motivation. You'll have a positive impact on employee engagement and retention, and that results in an overall performance bump on our path of continuous improvement. Again, don't just take my word for it. Do your own research or borrow some of mine. There's a great global culture report put out by OC Tanner. They do that every year. Their studies show that when recognition is done well, employees are 5 times more likely to see a path to grow in their organization, 4 times more likely to be engaged, and 5 more times likely to feel connected to each other and their company culture. You have 86,400 seconds every day, and I appreciate you taking 700 or so of them to listen to this podcast. Now, go use 5 more of those seconds to do some appreciation reps. Give a shout out to a team member for something they've done that made a difference for you, for the team, for your customers. It doesn't have to be huge. To paraphrase the author Robert Brault, celebrate the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. Keep cultivating those virtues for change. This is Andy Cleff from the Agile Uprising, signing out.